Okay, so today I decided to do something a little bit different with some of my videos. I do like to show pictures of boats in our pool because I do like radio-controlled boats and toy boats in general. So this is a PT boat that I'm working on, and rather than just show you it running around, I thought I'd show you different stages of its being built. So this is a model from Lindberg. I got it at Ollie's Bargain Outlet. It was probably about $12. These kits back in the 80s used to come motorized, but these kits now, they seem to have ditched the motor pieces, although the plastic is still kind of configured for motors. They used to have like battery packs that you could put in, and they would come with little can motors. They don't really do that anymore, but a lot of the plastic is still built in for that on these boats. And so as you can see here, I am working on it. It was modeled in white. I spray painted it gray, and I'm trying to do this using gutted toy radio controlled boat parts. Like, I have actually done a full model here. This here is also from Lindberg. That is the Blue Devil destroyer, and that is completely fitted out with electronic speed control, servos, and that can go hundreds of yards away from me. It is a very good model, but for this kit I just wanted to take an old toy and take its parts and see if I could get this to turn into a radio control boat. So as you can see here, I am working on it. I have the pieces, and you can see here we have the propellers here, and I have to get the electronics and power set up. It is modeled in white originally, but I've painted it gray with a black bottom, and I might put some sort of naval camouflage paint scheme on it. It's probably not going to be accurate to World War II PT boats, but it'll still look good. You know, it's kind of like artistic license here. Going to make it how I want it, but you know, that's this stage of the project, and we will definitely show you more as it comes along. Alright, let's see if we can get a little more color on here. And here we are, following the steps to build, as you can see. I'm going to put that all in here. Okay, so as you can see here, I did a little more work. Got this sealed off here. Screw into the propulsion here. So I got the twin propellers, battery, did the soldering, and as you can see, the transplant is complete for the electronics. Of course, this is a new battery pack, not what was in the original boat. But as you can see, looks like we are going to work. And I have already put this in the water, but I've not turned it on or had all these pieces in it, but it is watertight, so that's a good thing. Let's go try it out. Okay, it looks like we are still watertight and fairly balanced. Little nose heavy. The bow there is a little heavy there on the, but it is working. So tweak how we have the equipment inside it, and then once we do that, finish with the top side, and you should be ready to go. All right, back again. We are taking in a little bit of water down here. I used Vaseline to seal that off on the underneath, but it's still letting some water in, so we're gonna try and top it off with some glue. All right, I used some Gorilla Glue here that says it's good for tub and tile. Hopefully it bonds to the plastic well, which I believe it will. Gorilla Glue pretty much bonds to everything. I have used it to fix tiles on my pool, so here we go here. You can see that should work, and if not, I'll try this. I have some leftover flex tape Remember, I'm trying to do this on the cheap, so using what I've got. And I got this flex tape here, which didn't really do what I wanted for the project I bought it for, but it might work really well for this. So if we need it, we'll use it. So okay, we have our boat here, and I have already put this out in the pool, tested it out, see how it works, see if it was watertight. We did have a small leak back here, which I did put Gorilla Glue in for. But all the electronics worked, the motor worked, everything worked fine. I did actually have some footage of it, but the way my phone worked, I was one-handing it, and it's kind of upside down, or it's just not the proper angle, and I didn't know how to edit it, so it may be in this footage already. I don't know if I'm going to end up using it or not, but if it is, I apologize. But you get the idea. It did work. So we are still working on it. Built a few more pieces here. And I don't know if I'm going to make these access covers, or we might go with the balsa wood and see if we can line balsa wood in here somehow to make some bulkheads maybe, and somehow attach this deck so I can make the whole deck removable. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so this morning we're going to give this a try. As you can see, I have the electronics in here. It's all put together. I did try this in the pool the other day to see how watertight it was, and I had a leak here, so I used Gorilla Glue, and right now I don't see any water coming in, so it looks pretty watertight. I do have some weights here in the front. May not need them. I'm going to take one of them out, and let's just see how this performs. Definitely working. The electronics are working. Propulsion's working. So it looks like if I get the antenna out where it needs to be for reception, and I'll do that when I get the deck on there, I think this will work. So looks like a little trial run here proves that this is going to work. Okay, so as you can see here, still working on the boat. I have been putting wood. I've been gluing that to the sides of the plastic hull, just so I have a way to fasten down the top side of the boat. I have screws going through the deck, and they drill into the wood here. They screw into those holes that I've drilled with the Dremel, and you can see here I'm using clamps to help curve some of the wood pieces. It's pretty basic on the inside, nothing fancy. Boat doesn't really seem to need any bulkheads. The plastic hull's doing the job on its own, and it's pretty much watertight with this Gorilla Glue that I'm using. So, trying to just keep it basic, just make it work, and we'll see how that goes. You can see here, I have been able to put screws in the holes that I've drilled, and they are going into the wood, and it is holding it together, so we're just about done. Okay, so here we are. Paint job, everything is done here. It didn't quite turn out exactly how I wanted it. The stickers kind of fell apart because the model was pretty old, so they kind of fell apart in my hands when I was applying them. And I had some issues with the final coat of the spray paint. I think the can of paint was bad, so it kind of put a textured effect on my boat, which is kind of cool, but not what I was going for. But kind of makes it look like armor in a way, even though I don't think PT boats were really armored. They were made out of wood. But again, it's just something that happened. Normally I put clear coats to protect the stickers and so forth. Given what happened with the last can of spray paint, I don't know if I'm going to put a clear coat on this. I may, but I think I'm probably just going to send this bad boy out and give it its final test run maiden voyage. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I even put some men on there on board. I opted to not go with any kind of paint camouflage again. I was starting to have a problem with the spray paint, so kind of left it as is. But overall, I think it turned out really well. So let's give it a try. It's recording. Here we go. Let's follow the boat.
Go around. Go around. That's funny.
Oh, it's too close to You're gonna get it!
Oh, no! Joseph. No.
Alright, there we go.
Uh-oh, that isn't good. Uh-oh, iceberg right ahead. Up goes it for the PT-109. The PT-109 is endangered by this. Yeah, it was saved from the evil movie of movies. Oh, there goes Zippy.
And so there you have it. It works real well, and it actually turned out better than I had hoped. Overall, really happy with it. And it was really easy to do.